So I have added some things to the Caravan sheet. If you want to look at that, so you can your travelers are willing to finance you for a fairly large caravan with um, 5 mules, a horse, and a wagon.
Okay, so they're paying for the horse and the wagon and the mules and all that. We don't have to pay for that.
No, they're going to cover the horse, the wagon, the mules, 10 sacks of rations, a sack of fortified vampire wines. Um, they expect to ride in the wagon and the mules to be used for uh, capacity for the most part. Uh, there's going to be the 4 of you. I don't know if you've come up with names yet, so I'll just put your player names in quick.
I have come up with a name.
Well, then you can update.
Do you want us to update the tab in the Google Doc or just in the Caravan?
Just in the Caravan. You can also update the tab in the Google Doc if you want to just like put the like the first name or a brief bit of your character name, and then in parentheses your first initial, so that we. Ooh, except Christy and Cheryl both start CH.
Yeah.
Let's just leave the sheet name tabs as your player names, because then it's easy to grab them.
Okay.
Yeah, I did come up with a character name, a type of orange, Clementine. Like Clementine.
Good, I like it.
So you can definitely update in the helpers party passengers section. Christy, you also need a name for your pet.
We do.
And then I have come up with your passengers: Umbra, Nagori the tinker, Bellini, Mercandi, Candili the archaeologist, Skara Odnat the scientist, Yako Decapolitan the guild representative, Ernadar O Savobida the tinker, and Plania Il Sakhar the cartographer. I guess I should put those in the NPCs and places as well. But potentially, you could decide if you want additional items to go in your caravan. But currently, since you have some people in a wagon, you have a wagon which is slow. Inventory and transport. I guess we have 6 passengers.
Oh, right. So we all rolled a thing that we carry. I guess that goes inside our sack.
That would get in your sack. You can let me know if you are unclear whether or not that would count as a stone or a soap-sized item.
Well, it's a pink bottle, so I feel pretty comfortable saying it's a stone.
I mean, it could be if it's like hand-sized, it would be a soap, right? So if it's a small bottle, it would be a soap. If you want to have like a large like wine bottle sized, then it would be a stone.
I was thinking a wine bottle size thing.
I'm thinking we might need some extra rations. How long are we expected to go before we can buy more? So I might purchase a few more rations.
Isn't the idea that Violet City is the last place where we can buy that stuff, and everything else after that we have to forage?
So potentially, if you look at the big map, Violet City is where you're going to be leaving. You could potentially purchase, find some place to purchase from the at the low road and the high. You might run into, or on the steppe of the Lime Nomads, you might run into. Oh, sorry, I need to. Why is that? JP, you're clicking on the map a lot.
Oh, sorry. Am I moving the frickin' map? Why am I able to do that?
I think you're. Press to unlock.
Sorry, let me at least unselect it.
Okay, so I thought it was locked. If you like hold off the map, you can like drag. It'll make the thumb and drag or the hand and drag. So the Violet City is sort of the last main outfitting place. You might come across uh, caravans you can trade with on the steppe of the Lime Nomads or the high road and the low road. There are travelers that go along there. Porcelain Citadel is a settlement, so you could potentially trade there. There might be a limited amount of supplies, but you could. The Last Sarai is also a settlement. So you might run into places where you could purchase more goods. You might run into places where you might find more goods. But yes, it will potentially be at least 1 or 2 weeks where you might be on the low road and the high, or the steppe of the Lime Nomads, to before you get to where you want to.
We can raid other caravans also, I think.
You could attempt to raid other caravans, yes.
Are we going to engage in trade, or which means we'd have to carry trade goods as well?
Yes, and so you have in the caravan the 1 sack of fortified vampire wines, which is your.
Oh, that's trade goods.
That's a trade good. So as people are keeping track in the caravan, there's a inventory sacks. It sort of gives you a sense of like if you put an S in front of it, it'll be supplies. G is goods, E is equipment, C is cash, T is treasure, R is a rider, P is pulling, and X is other. So that's indicates sort of what kinds of things are in your inventory.
Okay. I'm going to buy a couple more sacks of supplies. 2 sacks, say, for 10 cash per sack. That's the good stuff. Tin meat and ale. And store them on the wagon. That's
Do our merchants? We've got like 3 merchants with us, right?
You do have 3 merchants with you.
Are they? Do they have any trade goods in this caravan, or are they traveling without for whatever reason?
They are traveling without for whatever reason. You're
Okay.
escorting them to some place, and I'm starting to figure out where. They might have personal stashes of cash or things, but they're not taking up space in the caravan.
Suppose we can raid our passengers.
Hey, they're worth more to us in XP than cash.
For now.
Where's the caravan? Load.
So the capacity is near the top in columns like F through J.
Yeah.
So I calculated that out.
Oh, the inventory is over there. Okay, yeah, sorry.
We can carry my extra sacks, I hope, of food. I notice it says capacity 24. Oh, no, it's okay. We can still get 4 more. Good.
It's gonna be easier to just do this. All right. All right. So your 3 merchants want to go uh, to the last Sarai. And the archaeologists are hoping to go to the Serpent Stone Marker. That's all I want. Why is it not letting me delete that? Let's make it a different color. And move it. Why is it not letting me move that? So the last Sarai is a porcelain prince trading post. So you would be able to potentially, if you were trying to figure out how far you might need to travel from the Violet City before you might resupply, you might go to you would be able you'd be able to purchase some things at the last Sarai.
Okay, it looks like it's a fair distance away too, with several possible routes.
So potentially before people start worrying too much about the routes and stuff, is everyone at a place where they feel good about introducing their character with a name covering stuff they have? Christy has to have a pet, but other people can have pets as well if they want to have a pet. They're just potentially
Okay.
would require additional supplies depending on what kind of a pet they are, but they might come in handy. You can always also find pets along the journey.
What about something you can ride? Can we ride one of the mules, or are we on?
So the mules are carrying equipment.
Mm-hmm. So if you wanted something to ride on, you would have to get it as a pet.
You could have it as a pet, or you could just have it as equipment if you don't want to ever worry about getting too invested in it. But if you want to start with a horse as a pet, you would just need to invest experience in it to make it better. It would potentially, depending on where you're at, require grazing or supplies.
Well, I think I would have a horse as a pet, or something you can ride, a horse or a mule. And that means like you need more supplies.
So
There
horses and mules can graze as long as there is grazing. Which there will definitely be grazing all the way up to the last Sarai.
Okay. So I just put a pet in, just type the name in, or
Yep, you can type a name in.
mm-hmm. Name for a horse.
And then it's gonna. I'll put in the rest. And just go ahead and put like Dobbin the horse, so we remember this is the horse.
All right. Okay. Because he looks like a strange rabbit.
So in the where it has an image URL, once we find images for your pets or characters, we can put in a different URL, and then it'll have the an image that is more suitable to the. 2 secs. All right. So I guess we're still going in alphabetical order by player name. So Cheryl, do you want to introduce your character?
All right. I'm an orangist. I am a courtesan singer. My name is Clementine, which is the appropriate name for, I think, for an orangist singer. I was quite happily working at my trade there when I ran into a very strange seer who left me with the absolute conviction that I have to go on this trip. And so I packed up my stainless steel thermos of blood wine and started off. The only language I speak is Orangetic. And I have my pet horse with me. My main skills, I should mention those: apothecary, soul juicing, and storytelling. I think that's about it.
Christy.
Alrighty. I am Lady Hecate, or Lady Heck, from the Violet City. I am a Catlord merchant adventurer. I have Martin de June, who is my primary means of conveyance / pet. He's got some cool robes, so he doesn't die, because that seems terribly inconvenient. I am carrying this pearl for a princess that is priceless. And I have a cool cape, and I am good at necromancy and surgery and protocol. Oh, and I can speak cat thought and high common.
All right, JP.
My character is named Blixen Dargelb, and I am in.
Excellent.
Sorry, that
Yeah,
that seems
I
like it
thought
was a
you'd like.
joke meant for me.
I thought you'd like that. For me as well. um, I am an ultra, I suppose, but I'm wearing the body of a half islander syndicalist pirate. I guess I was trying to create a pirate union or something like that, but I guess I'm on the run because that was not really accepted by. Um, so I know all about the pirate business, including other kinds of businesses, because I got the business as a skill, and I also like big guns. I cannot lie. Um, I have the big game hunting skill and also alt tech. I carry a big rifle. Told you I like big guns. And a strange pink bottle with a singing spirit. I'm not totally sure what it does. And a bunch of lotions and potions.
All right, and Lance.
I am playing Gromac Teal of the Steplanders, known for his demon hunting abilities. I went out and left my Steplander clan because I'm looking for my grandmother's lost auto wagon. I have been guided along this adventure by my precious yellow plastic tablet, which has inscribed upon it 4 truths that will be revealed to me during my journey. My skills are foraging, narco herbalism, and nomad raiding. I am usually dressed with my Steplander hat, with my spiked armor, along with my compound bow and my scimitar closely at my side. Although I did also bring all of my demon hunting equipment along with me.
Just never know when there's going to be a demon.
Well, exactly.
Gotta be ready.
All right, and you're escorting 6 passengers. Ombre. So if you go to the NPCs in places, I have added them. So in the future, the players will be responsible for updating like this UVG sheet. I'll just worry about the Master XP tab. Um, so you've got Umbra Nagori, a tinker, a passenger destined for the last uh, Sarai. They're calculated and ecumenical. They deploy divinities to get their way. Bellini Makandali, an archaeologist whose destination is the Serpent Stone marker. Thunderous and domineering, they were wronged once, and she will never be wronged. Skura Adnat, a scientist, also going to Serpent Stone marker, incredibly knowledgeable but inhumane, fortunately very passive. Yako Decapolitan, a guild representative destined for the last Sarai, passionate and loud, certain they're bringing a better world. Emidair O Savoba, a tinker destined for the last Sarai, ridiculously devout and so it's averse to avoid facing harsh truths. And the final passenger going with you is Plania El Saker, a cartographer going to the Serpent Stone marker, brittle with a quiet desperation, seeks a lost friend but will fail.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so potentially now uh, is a good time to talk about, if we look at the big map, the decision that you're gonna make now is whether you're gonna go to the steppe of the Lime Nomads or the low road and the high. Uh, what you would know is that the low road and the high the cratered viaduct of the high road runs crumbling pylons of dying dryland coral across the pallid grasses. Beneath a half-passable testament to the follies of the long, long ago, the low road winds, smeared threads of soil and loam and oil and blood ground into a hard surface by the pounding feet, hooves, wheels, and treads of pilgrims, nomads, caravans, and vex. The steppe of the lime nomads, the limey nomads' lands are harsh and dry, forbidding to travelers. Odd remnants from the misty period, referred to as the best forgotten ages by the saffron city's opiate priests, dot the plain. In spring, the limey limeys graze west towards the grass colossus, returning east to the circle rim for winter. And the other thing is rename this to not be copy of time. So there's also in the UVG sheet, just renaming it to be time. Putting that in front of XPO War or Master XP, and I can rearrange to move the sample PC to the end. So on the time sheet, you're going to start your journey on the first. You can decide whether you want to leave in green month, when trucking is challenging and damp, or red month, when trucking is easy. But the traveling season in the Ultraviolet Grasslands basically runs from green month is challenging damp, then red month is easy, orange month is easy, yellow month is easy but hot, old second is easy but hot, unity is easy, violet month is challenging, snowbringer is grueling and cold, and then dead winter, new first, and last month and first month become nearly impossible to travel.
I think we should start when the travel is easy.
That makes sense.
So that'll basically, if you start when travel is easy, you will basically have 4, 8, 13, 17, 21 weeks or so before travel gets challenging. So you're going to start on the 1st of red month.
So there's a pretty quick path to Last Sarai if we go by this, by the weeks to travel labels. If we go to the Low Road and the High, and then the Porcelain Citadel, that should get us to the Last Sarai in the 3rd week.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can get rid of those annoying merchants. I mean, we're not talking about them in their presence.
This seems the fastest way to do it. The other route seems longer. Well, yeah. 1, 2. Although, no, we could go through the low road and then back to the Porcelain Citadel and avoid the lime nomads, who, the nomads are sometimes a little warlike, aren't they?
Hey.
Potentially.
Oh, Zach, I should ask. The reason I'm on the road is because I have a map to an unclaimed aerolith. Where is it on the map?
Ooh, go ahead and roll 1d20 plus 6. What was your result?
Oh, it's an 11.
11. So it is near the south-facing passage.
Okay.
So you'd have to travel to the south-facing passage, and then you'll have to explore around there. So it'll be like within a day or two of the south-facing passage.
Ah, well, I see that that's on the way to the Serpent Stone, where we're dropping off our archaeologists.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have some opinions on which of the routes we should take to get to the last Syrah?
If I have any firm opinions, that seems.
I think the quickest road is probably best.
Yeah.
That way we get
I mean,
merchants
as
out of
long as
our
we
hair.
don't know of any.
Yeah.
If we don't know any particular treacherous things that lie on this.
I mean, there are
Well,
dangers all throughout the Ultraviolet Grasslands, but
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we
but-
haven't heard, like, oh, there's definitely, like, this crazy thing.
But if one route is 4 weeks and the other route is 2 weeks, I think that's an indication that maybe there's more scary or dangerous things on the other route, because it's not that much longer. In fact, I don't think it's longer at all.
Also, Zach, I think your stream just died.
nope, the stream is still. It might just be the connection that you have to Twitch died.
It might.
Yeah, so I'd go for that one. One for the low road, Violet City through the low road, Porcelain Citadel, and down to the last Sarai.
Can dump the merchants and claim our experience point metagamey reward.
All right. So let's see. Is there any last business you want to take care of in the Violet City? Do you think you need to get any additional supplies or deal with any last minute business? Do you want to search around for nearby things to do in the Violet City, or are you gonna start on the road to the low road and the high?
Okay, maybe I'll try to get some sort of idea of whether anybody else has got a map to an unclaimed aerolith. To get a preview of whether someone is going to be fighting me for this.
Oh, you are I think the fact that it says it's an unclaimed aerolith, you think that you probably have one of either the only map or one of very few maps, and it's unlikely that people are going to be headed that way. So I think because you rolled that as your starting thing, I think we can assume that if you can find your way there, you can claim whatever treasures are within, or claim the aerolith itself if you want some sort of ridiculous, dangerous flying domicile.
Could we possibly do some poking around and see if we can get any scuttlebutt about any particular dangers that lie that way?
So you know that the low road and the high, both roads are jetted jokes leading to the Porcelain Citadel, the neutral hull at the edge of a sprawling Vome territory. So the low road and the high towards the Porcelain Citadel is it's one of the most traveled paths in the Ultraviolet Grasslands.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, I want to be able Just want a little thing that I can move to indicate whose turn it is to roll. I suppose I can do this. Okay. So, as we sort of pay attention to who's going to be responsible for rolling which things, is the party ready to set off on your journey from Violet City to the low road and the high?
Yes, I think so. I am.
I am.
Yes, we're going, baby.
All right. So when you travel, what we're gonna do is a sort of a set of things. You have a wagon which has a slow tag, so it's always going to take you one additional day. So you're traveling. So you would spend a sack of supplies per person per week, and then we'll check for misfortune. So we're going to tally. So this first week, if we look at the caravan sheet, it's one sack of supplies per mouth per week, and your total mouths is going to end up being 11. So I don't know if that changes your thoughts about purchasing some additional sacks of rations. Because there's 4 of you plus Christie's pet who needs to eat, or rather, I should use the proper names. So there's the 4 of you plus Martin Dejoun and the 6 members of your passengers.
Okay. Well, hang on.
I think we could use more rations. I already got. How much did you say we eat a day again? I mean, I know there's 11 of us.
You need a sack of supplies per mouth per week.
That's so yeah, and we've got.
And you've got a space. You've got space in the caravan, capacity in the caravan to have 6 more sacks.
Oh, I think we definitely should because we only got 12 sacks now, counting mine, and that's only going to get us through a week. So 6 more sacks. Okay, I'll buy 6 more sacks. 6 more sacks is how much were the sacks again?
It's 2 for the cheapest ones.
No, I was getting the better ones, I think.
For the Voyager supplies?
Yeah, 6 more. Where's my money? I'll put it on my loan. Once I figure out how much it is.
Yeah, I guess we don't really have very good carrying capacity, do we?
No, we don't.
Because if we take, I mean, at the last Sarai, we can probably stock up, but that's one of those last places where we can stock up.
Yeah, just find it.
And having this kind of carrying capacity means we can't go very far, right? If we take one of those legs that's 2 weeks, then we're gonna starve.
Cutting it.
Either
Yeah.
that, or we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to pause to forage or something like that.
Oh, forage. Yeah, we can get some by foraging, but I think we should kind of have some. Okay, how much was the good? Here we are.
I mean, you could take a
10, and I said 6. That's 60 cash. I'll add that to my debt.
You take a group debt if you wanted to purchase some more mounts, like another wagon and horse.
What about the super flashy giant sand crawler?
That might be out of the budget that people would be willing to allow you to take a debt for.
And can
So-
If only we had a massive aerolith.
I put a couple of bags of food on the horse? I want the because he's not carrying anything right now.
The horse is pulling the wagon. You can
My
put.
horse.
So that was the I had that factored into the capacity of 26.
Oh, okay, so my horse is currently helping pull the wagon, so I can't put any more food on top on him.
Your horse isn't pulling the wagon, but I did factor it into the capacity. So if you were getting
If I'm
getting
getting
the capacity to 26, that includes your horse.
all right, so we're up to capacity now, so we're still gonna have to watch what we eat, I think.
So Zach, since I have the forage skill, how does that come into play as we're traveling along? If I go out and forage, does that slow us down? How does that impact
So
what we do?
time, the way that time is going to work, maybe I'll just give that overview here quick. So when a caravan is stopped in the wilderness, each hero may take one of the following actions. Forage for supplies. With a moderate relevant test, they gain 1 sack of supplies. Care for another character, they fully recover damage attribute. Set an ambush. Study. Or hide. So that is if you stop for a full week. So if you stop for a week, one person can forage to gain 1 sack of supplies. So you can basically forage to cover for yourself.
Oh, and if you don't have the forage skill, can you still forage, but you probably wouldn't be so good at it, or is
Right.
it totally? Oh. Okay, so yeah. Well, we can't fit any more supplies in our wagon anyway, so.
So if you were to get another small wagon and a horse, which would add 8. Wait. Oh, if you can add a solid another wagon in the same size you have, with I guess they're having it pulled by 2 mules, that would cost another 740 cash, and it would add 16 more capacity to your caravan, but you would also be pretty large. I guess you'd be 22. Your size would be 22, which might make it easier for you to be spotted if things are coming to try and ambush you or waylay you.
Yeah, what are the chances of that though?
Strikes me as the kind of environment where you get waylaid every second day.
Otherwise,
So,
a small
yeah.
wagon adds 6 sacks of capacity and costs 200 cash. Would require a draft animal to pull it.
Yeah, I think we definitely need extra capacity because if we ever get like delayed on one of those legs, we don't.
We don't have enough.
If we get, if we like, break an axle or something,
Yeah.
I'd
feel more safer or more comfortable if we had even a small wagon. I mean, my goodness, I'd almost go for the big one and take my chances on the.
So is
think
the
we're
party
good for the
thinking you're
debt.
gonna get a second wagon and 2 more mules for 740?
A second big wagon.
If we do that, we split it up. If you said we can do it jointly, we can each put 180 odd.
You could just have it be the caravan debt, and in the cash you would put negative 740.
Oh,
Done.
okay. Yes. Now we gotta buy supplies to fill it.
So that's gonna add what, 16 more capacity. So 42. So then it's a matter of how much additional.
Merge. There we go. I just got 10 more sacks of basic rations that I'm paying for out of pocket.
Okay.
All right, so then you have your capacity is 36 out of 42, which gives you a little space if you came across something.
And we've got a total of 28, which should get us, well, it's a lot better than what we had. We should be able to get to a settlement. Just,
So you currently have 11 mouths, so each week you're gonna take 11 uh,
yeah, but
sacks of supplies.
yes, but we're on our route. We should be able. Yeah. We wouldn't be delayed more than 2 weeks. 'Cause we can shop. We can get supplies at the low road and the high, can't we?
Potentially, it's not guaranteed, but you could run into something in the low road and the high.
Maybe we should fill up all our spaces with food. How much space? How many spaces do we have left? Let me get that.
6. You have 6 more sacks of capacity.
6 more sacks. Okay. I'll put 6 more in just to be on the safe side.
All right, so your caravan is stuffed to the gills with food.